Hey, what's going on? Here's the doctor again, coming live to you before I start working. My work is back there. I don't think you can see that. I'm going to have a long shift, and so a lot of physical work. But I wanted to make a quick comment, a couple minutes here. And again, thank you for joining me and for watching. So today we had an interesting exchange of ideas regarding politics and Christianity. And, for a long time, you know, as Christians, it is always interesting to see how, works salvation. I mean, last week there was a big explosion of tweets and whatnot regarding a tweet that I think it was Dr. DeYoung on this video, kind of making some interesting comments on the role of works in salvation, which we know, anyone that has studied the story of Reformation and whatnot knows that this has been an issue forever. And so that created a good number of discussions and interesting arguments. But today, I guess today, this whole topic was taken to another notch. Now it's not only we're not only discussing salvation by works, but also now salvation by political affiliation. And some people have taken it upon themselves to start questioning people's salvation, depending on whether you are an X or Y political party. Namely, if you are a Christian and you support the Democratic Party and or vote for a Democratic candidate, or support anything within the Democratic voting ticket or whatnot, then you are definitely not a Christian. Well, I think I would have thought that that's just kind of obviously wrong-headed. It's misguided. It's not evangelical at all. Ladies and gentlemen, should I state this again? Salvation is by faith. All right, is by putting your faith in the finished work of Jesus Christ on your behalf. And the opposite of that is incredulity. So let's make that crystal clear. You don't need to be affiliated to any political party to be Christian. Now, the thing gets a little bit more complicated, because someone may ask, well, how can you be a Christian and then join a party that's allegedly all about killing infants and the unborn and immigration and socialism and whatnot? Well, I think that's a danger of trying to bring together Christianity and politics. All right, because when we speak about politics, it is way more new. Politics and people are way more nuanced and complicated than this kind of basic, talking points or simplistic, kind of reductionistic, minimalistic issues. All right, so you can be a Christian, and I've met this type of this Christians. In fact, I have them in my family. My father is not a Republican card holder. My wife is registered as a Democrat. Now, for you to engage in this conversation, you do need to realize that if someone is, for example, 50, 40, 60 years old, and has been a long-time Democratic registered person, that being a Democrat or even a liberal back 30, 40, 50 years ago is completely different from what a Democrat could be today. And even today, there are moderate Democrats. There are the Twitter, someone said that, it's not a term that I created, the Twitter type of Democrats, which are kind of on the fringes, like truly crazy, kind of almost, Marxist, unbalanced, unhinged type of Democrats. But there are also the moderate types, And they're also, there are several times. This is not there's no such thing as a monolithic type of party. Even within Republicanism, you have different brands and types and flavors and sizes of Republicanism. And to say just flat out, if you vote for anyone in that party or you support, ladies and gentlemen, it's not that simple. And it's not helpful. It is also dangerous. It is dangerous, it's unchristian to simply discard. I even wonder, do you engage in conversations with anyone from the other side of the aisle? Do you realize that there's a lot of people that, my brother-in-law, for example, he is a Christian Baptist individual. He is a Republican person, but he is conflicted about the person and work of our current president, Donald Trump. He doesn't like his character. He doesn't like his rhetoric in many issues. He just doesn't like the hypocrisy of the Republican Party, because on the one hand, yes, they claim to be, to defend the rights of the unborn and whatnot. They defend, they want, big business, and they want to do all these things with the economy, which are good. But on the other hand, you have certain candidates that have done their best to not stomp out the abortion agenda, the Planned Parenthood thing, because they want to, because there's a lot of money coming in because of this pro-life institution, agenda. And so you could be a Christian, you could be a Republican, and be conflicted about these issues, and not necessarily buy into everything that Republicanism has to say. And to just make this blanket statements, no, man, it's not helpful. It's crazy. It's almost like you have been brainwashed. You're not doing independent thinking. You're not engaging with people on the other side. How about my father? He will never forget when he came to America. I mean, you guys know I'm not an American. I was not born here. Now I'm a naturalized American. My dad is not. He comes here a couple times a year, but he's not an American. And he told me many years ago, he used to work for the Panama Canal, and he was sent here to the U.S. once. It was in the 80s, and he will never forget how he went to this Baptist church in Alabama. He was in Birmingham, Alabama, and he was doing some training because he's an industrial engineer. And to this day, he doesn't forget. I mean, he doesn't have any animosity towards, the people that did this to him or the Republican Party per se. But he remembers that when he went to this specific Baptist church, that the minister, after he came to visit, he obviously, when he came here, he wanted to be in a church for Sunday services and whatnot. And he was asked pretty much, short story, not to come back again or he was politely asked to not return because he would be better for him to go visit this other church in another neighborhood, which happened to be a black church. And, he just chuckled and he said, well, I guess not even because of my tithes and offerings, they're going to have me here. And so after having that experience, he always questioned the sincerity and the Christianity because all these people were, allegedly Republicans, and they were not, the pastor and whatnot. They were Democrats. Republicans. And, my father experienced that kind of discrimination back in those days. So that left a sour taste in his mouth. What do you do with a Christian like that? That has experienced discrimination, has not really been helped by the Republican Party. What do you say to a Catholic or just a Baptist Christian, Latino Christian that has come here legally and felt offended by some of the things that Obama not Obama, but President Donald Trump has said. He's a sincere Christian. He goes to church every time. He's not a heretic. He is not a crazy leftist lunatic that supports abortion and all these things in the Democratic ticket, but is seriously considering voting for a moderate Democrat who might not have this anti-immigration, borderline racist rhetoric in his mind that is bothersome. What do you say to him? Oh no, you're not a Christian because you don't vote, because you voted for the Democratic Party. You see the problems that you're creating? So I think it's important to keep that in mind, to remain balanced. We should be, as Christians, we are people of the truth. And if in order to be truthful and to be moral, we cannot just latch on to any party and just accept whole whatever they throw at us and just say, if you're not with this, you're not. No. That's being sectarian. That's kind of taking your brain and putting it to a side and just buying into the rhetoric and not allowing for discussion. And again, I am saying this as when I became a naturalized American, I registered as a Republican. Donald Trump's personality doesn't really bother me. I understand he's a showman. Sometimes he's not the best speaker. Sometimes he can be offensive. He can be brash. He's, the New York thing or whatever. I understand that. And so I can forgive that. But there are some sincere Christians that are not bought into his rhetoric. And I understand them. And I would never question their Christianity. I wouldn't question my wife's Christianity. That's crazy. I wouldn't question my dad's Christianity. He's a deacon, for crying out loud. He would never support abortion. But there are some things in the Democratic ticket that can be helpful at times. And that can be discussed. We can have an argumentation. We can have arguments about this. You can have a pastoral, kind, gentle approach to people on the other side that might be confused. They might be wrong. Maybe you will have to learn some things. But to jump out the gun and say you're not a Christian, it's misguided. It's crazy. All right, I need to go back to work. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you next time.